uh, uh, change that's occurring is it's beginning with technology, and they're feeding us this. We're literally being fed this technology to give us this. But what happens, and they know this, is that we're coming to this point very soon, and what the Mayans say happens in 2012, or actually could happen even today, because it's this window around 2012. It's not the date December 21st, 2012. It's from October 24th, 2007 to approximately November, December 2015. That's a window, and the events that the Mayans talk about could happen anytime in that window, which means it could happen today. But let me see, where was I?
Well, we were looking at the different things. One of them being the technology is one of the factors that really is helping us to evolve. But I was also wanting to hear from you, what are the different things that are evolving within us, like our DNA, our frequency and vibration, our capacities, etc.
Okay. Well, the technology aspect is a lead-in. We think it's the end in itself, that being able to do all kinds of amazing things with technology is the end of it. From a higher being's point of view, it's kind of like a chicken and the cracking of the egg. Whenever technology appears on these levels, we know that race is just about ready to evolve very fast. A day will come, any day now, when we are going to realize that we don't need this technology anymore. We can do without anything, without any electronics, without anything, just having a human body, that we can do absolutely anything that technology has done now, and we can do things that we can't even imagine at this point. And we are going to do this. This is what all of life is now just waiting for us to do. And we are just ready to step out of that, into that level of existence. Yes, there are changes within our DNA. Some of these changes that are being presented by different teachers around the world, I don't believe have any validity, and some of them do. The idea that we're about to move from 2 strands in our DNA to 12 strands in our DNA, first of all, is not even physically possible. The DNA is based on the dodecahedron-icosahedron relationship, and when you look at it, it's a pentagon facing down, a pentagon facing up, and there are 10 possible channels, not 12. And there has never been one person on Earth where they've ever seen 12 channels move into yet. However, there have seen DNA changes in the codons. And there are 64 codons in the DNA, and human beings are running on, I think, about 21 or 22 or something of them. And suddenly, coming from children, they have found that there are 6 more codons that have been activated, and these children are choosing 2 of those 6. Mm-hmm. And so this is a big deal, and we don't know what it means yet. NASA is covering this. They are exploring it in depth right now, trying to understand what it means, because these are the kids with the ADD and ADHD that are extremely right-brained, that can't get through school. They're
what
not
people
logical.
Call indigo children or crystal children?
Indigo kids, yes, crystal kids. These kids are geniuses on 1 level or 2 levels, but they have a very hard time getting through school. They either get A++, or they get an F. They can't seem to get anything in the middle very easily. And so science is now studying them, trying to understand who this new people are. They have not only that, they have a new stomach and a new liver. And so obviously they have a new DNA physiologically also. We don't know what that is yet, or at least it hasn't been reported that I'm aware of. But they do know they have this. But so,
how about on us? How about with other type of people on this planet? Is everybody also changing and DNAs are evolving regardless of their awakening, or this is totally related to that?
Purely on a scientific level, we don't know that yet. We can see that certain people in certain areas are changing faster than people in other areas and are evolving faster than others. But scientifically, This is a very rapid moving situation, and there aren't a lot of researchers, and most of those researchers that are doing this are from the government, and they're not talking. And so,
what is your way of seeing it then?
Well, yes, we are evolving, and my whole thing for the last 47 years has been studying human consciousness. Not from I did go through college and graduated and studied physics and math and other things, but that isn't where I'm coming from. I'm studying the ancient masters all over the world, different forms of meditation. I've studied with over 72 different teachers, each from everything you can imagine, from Hindu and Tibetan to Sufi to Taoist to on and on and on and on. And really, now that I've looked at most of them, and that also includes many indigenous tribes around the world and how they perceive life, we are changing dramatically. In fact, even having this subject that we're talking about right now, say 10 years ago, wouldn't be very likely that anybody would show up and listen. They're showing up and listening because things are going on inside of them where they're suddenly beginning to realize that something is going on in them as well as around the world, and they weren't aware of this before. 20 years ago, no way, not even possible. We are becoming a different human race. I just did a new video called The Birth of a New Humanity, and it went out on YouTube, and a lot of it we can even sell to you as a DVD if you want it. But that was an extraordinary event that has taken place. It's 13,000 years of humanity working together to create a electromagnetic field above the Earth, so that is geometrical in nature and surrounds the whole planet, which NASA has totally mapped, and so has Russia, and which is necessary for us to move from normal human consciousness to a brand new level of consciousness. I don't know what you want to call it. Some people are calling it Christ consciousness, and some people have different ideas, unity consciousness.
How about the heart consciousness?
The heart consciousness would be a better one, really, because this consciousness is based on heart perception rather than brain perception. And it's something outside of who we are right now. It's something that we are just evolving into at this moment. There's only a few people in the world that really understand. It's another set of children, not the indigo or the crystal kids, but what are called the super psychic children. But super psychic implies it's a brain function, but that's not how they're doing these things. They're doing them from their heart and from the connection to these grids above the earth. And they're able to do anything. If you look at the scientific research and what these children are doing, it does not seem possible, and it's something beyond anything we've ever seen. The Chinese have actually scientifically reported to all the major magazines like Nature Journal and Science News that they've actually watched children walk through solid walls. No kidding. And they've been able to do things that are where they can just look at a petri dish with DNA in it and change the DNA just by looking at it. And it goes on and on and on and on. And this is all scientifically being reported. The world doesn't know what to do about it. I mean, scientifically, they just can't imagine what is happening here. And so the grids now above the earth are done. It took 13,000 years to complete these grids, and they're done. They're finished. They're alive. And the Earth's Kundalini, which is another deep subject about all of this that moved out of Tibet and into Chile, is now functioning. And we are, from what I can see, we are ready to go. We're just like in the starting place. All we got to do is somebody give us a green light, and we're ready to go. And we're perfectly aligned inside the timing, according to the Mayans and the Hopi and the Zulu and the Waitaha and the Kogi and the Arawakos and tribes all over the world are totally wrapped up into this right now. We are ready to be and to go on an adventure like humankind has never had in their lives before. It's exciting.
Is it happening at the same rate for you? You think at the same level and with the same timing, or there's different kind of pops and waves of people on this planet?
There are people that are going ahead. The ascended masters, people who have evolved from all over the world, but human beings just like us, but evolved, and now are immortal. They don't die anymore, and they
Avatars?
are deeply.
Is that the same than avatars or not?
An avatar is someone coming here onto Earth to change humankind. These are beings that have gone beyond that. They're not. That would be like a Jesus would be an avatar, someone who is attempting to change everything. These are people who did not attempt to change anything; they just did it and went on, and they are deeply involved in all of this. Without them, we would have never made it. They are the highest levels of humankind. But there are other people now here on Earth, lots of them, probably into at least 1 million or more, that are rapidly changing into levels that they're not human anymore. They're able to do things and are able to function on levels that we could not say is a human capability. And they're going up further all the time, every day. And I study these people. I go somewhere in the world every 3 weeks. I've been doing this for 27 years, 280 times going around the world at different places. And I go in there and I study with people at different places from in Russia or China or Japan or different areas, different places. And it is really happening, but in small pockets of people. The time is about to come when the entire human race is about to come together and move in a way that we had no idea that it was even possible for us to do this.
And it's impossible for us to miss that?
Oh yes, you're not. No, you're not going to. You're not going to say, "Is this happening or is it not?" There's not going to be any doubt. There's a lot of things that are going to occur that are huge, and they're part of this human jump in consciousness. Just as birth, when a baby comes out and is birthed into this reality, it's a pretty big deal for that baby and for the mother and for those that are around. And when we get birthed into this new level of consciousness, it's going to be a big deal for us too. It's not going to be anything that you're going to wonder if it's happening or not.
Even for people that are not interested in this subject?
It won't make any difference if they believe in it or don't believe in it or even care. It's going to happen whether they like it or not. It's already in the process.
What are the signs of that for when it will happen? Do we know? Well,
there are, one of them of these signs is predicted by the Mayans, and they're predicting that there's going to be a physical pole shift. Literally, the axis of the Earth is going to turn to a new location. That would definitely catch the attention of every last living thing on this Earth, not just humans. And it would be huge. There's a lot of people who are speculating what that would mean. The movie 2012 that came out scientifically was trying to give an idea of what level that would mean. And as you can see, that's no little thing. It's big. But will everybody make this through here? Will the whole humanity, every last person? Probably not. But will humanity make it through? The answer for me is absolutely yes. We've already made it. Because once that grid is completed around the Earth, life always makes it after that. It's another long story, but we've already made it. I know this in my heart. I know for sure we've made it.
Yeah, sorry. The what?
Well, I was just going to. There was life for a long time. ET life that were coming here besides these other races that most people are aware of. There are other races they weren't aware of who cared about us, but really